All right, it is April 21st, and it is the Irish Interest Group. And got people kind of wandering in. That's good. Here comes Mr. Sullivan. Mr. Sullivan's back from Texas, evidently. He decided to come back to Iowa. So, so people are kind of wandering in. We'll give them a minute or two. It was a beautiful day here in Iowa. I don't know about it's winter, I know, down in Australia, Robin, but here it was 80 something degrees and sunny and a little bit of a breeze. But hold on to your hats, you know. It's Iowa. We'll be back freezing one of these days at the rate we're going. That's it. Um, let's see. Let me start my things out. One of the things when I sent the emails out to you, one of the things I included was a link to a video for the little presentation that somebody from Roots from MyHeritage did for us called "Getting the Most Out of Your MyHeritage." And for those of you that are members of the Iowa Genealogical Society, that's a perk that you can use MyHeritage. You have to sign in as a member. If you can't remember your password or anything else, there's a little question, a little place you can hit the button and it tells you how to recreate it. So you can do that. And his name was Daniel Horowitz, and he was really interesting, and had some humor. This is an Israeli company, but his accent was like, huh? He grew up in Venezuela, so so his accent, although he's Jewish, is somewhat South American. And when I got really tickled in, when he gets all finished, and then he was taking questions off the chat, and one of them was, well, how much, because this is free, but you can, if you really want to, purchase a membership. And he said, I knew somebody was going to ask that question, so up pops a new slide that he gives the different uh, tiers of membership, and the basic one is $100 and something dollars a year, and then you get up to close to $500 a year, whatever, I can't remember. And he says, and he's like, don't tell my bosses this, but just get the least expensive one and then use the library edition along with that. So he was giving us tips on how to save money. So I thought that was kind of clever of him as we go through there. Tim, I got you on here twice. I'm laughing about this. Oh, you're muted, but that's okay. That's
Sorry
okay.
about that. I'm trying to figure things out.
You're not taking up any space. You're fine. That's it. So sent you the link. It runs about 45 minutes. Um, he talks about the ancestry, and sometimes he talks about the library edition versus the personal. But hey, this is something that we've got, and you should be using it because that's part of your $40, that type of thing. What else did I tell you about? Oh, we're taking jewelry in. We know that. Tomorrow, for those of you that are in Des Moines, um, not tomorrow, Thursday, Thursday, there's a presentation by Byron Strom on one of his ancestors who was, it's a very interesting story. He served in the Civil War, and then I think he was in the military, but he refused to participate in a what turned out to be a massacre of Native Americans. And then he testified in a court case about that, and evidently was okay. I'm gonna mute him. Mary Kay, I'm gonna mute you
No,
if I
it's on
can.
my end, it says.
Mary Kay, can you mute yourself? Um, Evidently was shot and killed for over the idea that he's publishing. So Byron's going to tell the story at one. I think it's at 1 o'clock tomorrow, and it's free. So if you want to just drop into the library, I'd love to have a good size audience for him. So that's it. What else is going on? I don't know. What is happening? And we have craft retreats, and it's going to be one Friday and Saturday. So that was it. If you like to quilt or knit or anything else, you just bring your stuff and participate. Some of us are not crafters, so some of us are not going to be there. So that's it. Um, can't think of what else is going on. Oh, we will be replacing the sidewalk out in front of our building. We have received notice from the city of Des Moines that we must do that. They're redoing the entire, we have, everybody along that street has to do it. So, so I don't know, and they gave us a deadline and they've given us more time. So, one of these days it might be a kind of a hassle to get in and out, but we'll get there. We'll make it work. So that's what's happening down at the Iowa Genealogical Society. So I thought we talk about the 1926 census. And I know that a lot of you don't necessarily have family still there in 1926, but family members stayed. And so if you know where your family's from in Ireland, this is a good way to see who was still there in 1926, maybe living on the same land that they had as you go through there. So they're very similar to what our rules are. We have to wait 72 years, but they have to wait 100 years. But as the 100th anniversary was the 18th of April, and they had it ready to go. Just like for us, we get it on April 2nd because the census was taken on April 1st and they release it on April 2nd. So that's kind of cool. So we won't get to see it again until 2030. That's only 5 years away. Oh my Lord. Okay. Yeah. So we'll go from there. So let me go through here. I got a chat here. Who's talking to me in the chat? Oh, okay, Theron, I'm pretty sure I sent it to you. Uh, I will resend it to you. That looks like the address I had. Sent it out Sunday night. I think it was Sunday. It might have been Monday morning. I don't know. But I will check. I will check. Okay. But I will resend it to you and make sure it gets out to you. Sometimes the stuff my stuff ends up in your spam. And but if I send it to just you, we'll see if that makes a difference. Okay. Um, what was I going to do? I was going to go share. I was going to share. And I don't know if any of you uh went looking for it. Any okay, anybody go through there's my genealogy. There it is. Did anybody spend some time in it yet? Nope.
A little bit.
Okay. All right. Just to preface my remarks, this is for the 26 counties of the Republic of Ireland. It does not include the 6 counties up there in the northeast corner, which is in Northern Ireland. Um, this census was being taken by the new Republic of Ireland. And so obviously they did not include the Northern Ireland. That was not included in it. What else?
You know what the population was about then?
I it wasn't, we could find out. I don't know. Somebody want to Google that? It was a couple million. I know
Okay.
that, well, it might be more than that. It might have been up to 4 million total. Because I know that after the famine, they went from 8 million people to 4 million people. And they have never recovered uh, back up to the 8 million mark, the last I heard. So we go from there. Okay. Um, I did a I'll show you what I did, and then I had some problems. So this website that I gave you takes you to the search the census 1926, and then they have um, previous census data. If you want to look at the 1901 or 1911 census over here, and the pre-1901 censuses, which those were mostly destroyed, but there are some fragments. So this will get you where you want to go. So this one is to search by name. And so I did this. I did McCormack. And I know there's a John there. And it's Tipperary. And then I tried this, Gortlass O'Brien. Okay. And I know there's McCormick's there, but so I just did McCormack. And I said, search it. And this is what happened. I got no results. I'm like, no, that's not right. I know they're there. I know they're there. Okay. Um, so I said, let's do John McCormick because I know he's there. And just, but I hate to do a full things in Tipperary, but I could. And there's 39 of them. And I'm kind of going through this and I'm going through it. I'm going through it. None of those look right. And we'll go to the next page. And here he is. And look how they spelled it. They spelled it Lass O'Brien as opposed to Lassabrin, which is how it's the modern spelling is. But evidently that's how they wanted to do it. So I just clicked, I did find him. So I clicked on that. And they tell me a couple things. Here's John. There's the townland. This is the electoral district, which they just use to subdivide an area of a county, so forth and so on. He's 44. He's married. He's Roman Catholic. He's a male. And so I can come over here and I can look at the household form. So this, we've looked at, there's my link. Come on. There we go. And it looks a little different than before. So first of all, you can only get 10 people on there. And for some families, that's an issue. Uh, let's make this bigger. Okay. So, and they talk about, they give you the instructions, which I like. Every person who is alive at midnight on the night of Sunday, April 18th, and who, whether a member of the family or a visitor, boarder, or servant of the household, as long as he passes the night in the dwelling and arrives and is received into the household on the morning of Monday the 19th. So if somebody was in transit, you're supposed to pick them up the next day. No one else should be included. And then the relationship is head, wife, mother, son, daughter, stepson, other relatives. They go through that. Um, Daughter or other relative on a visit to her father's house should be entered as visitor, not as a daughter. That's kind of rude. Um, Age in years and months, but I normally see just years. If male, female. For persons aged 16, I can't read that. I don't, is it 15 and above? Yeah. 15 and above, write single, married, widowed, or widower. For children aged under 15, state in respect to of parents, whether both parents alive, father is dead, mother is dead, or both parents dead. So that is something new as you go that. So that's for children. They want to know that's it. Then, if they were born in Ireland, you get the county and the townland or town. So in this case, John was born in Gortlass Kate was born in Ballymalone Beg, which is the next town loan next to it. And then we get down, the very last one is John McCormick's, it says grandmother. I'm not too sure that's right. I think it's his mother. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be the relationship to the head, not to the children. And she was born in Ballynahinch. So this now tells me where those families were, because I obsess about all these people as we go through there. And he's a farmer, Roman Catholic religion. They didn't answer the question about the Irish language, right? Irish only, Irish and English. Who is a native speaker, but who who can speak English, right? English and Irish for people who speak both language, but is not a native Irish speaker. I'm not sure what that's going on there. And for persons who can read or write, but cannot speak Irish, read but not write Irish, not speak. read but cannot speak Irish. So you get a little bit going. But you notice I don't get anything out of that. They didn't do it. And then your religion, and then personal description. John's a farmer. Katie does home duties. It took me a while to figure that one out. And then when we get down to Mary, it says old age pensioner. So she's drawing a pension from that. And then it says she also has some home duties as we go through there. And then what does this say? I don't remember looking at this before. Under duties, if working as an employee, state the name and business of the employer. Oh, that's own account. And he has 50 acres. If employed in connection with the employer's farm, say, give the name of the area of the farm in statute areas. Presently out of work. If employing paid persons, then you're an employer. If working on own account and not employing, so forth and so on. And then the number of years, completed years, then the present marriage. They did not. Well, state this for each married woman. So she says she's been married 11 years and she's had 5 children, okay, in the present marriage. So be careful because that's the present marriage. If she had children from another marriage, it doesn't count. And then it says the number of living sons, daughters, stepsons, stepdaughters under 18, 16 years of age, whether residing as members or elsewhere. So you at least get a total as we go through there that are 4. That's odd. Hmm. This says 4 children, and the other column says 5. So I don't know what's going on. Okay. The last column is supposed to be any children, the other one's present. And then we have down here just some logistics. 7 persons, 3 males, 4 females, 5 rooms, which is always interesting. And John is able to sign, which is interesting. By 1921, he's done that. And then here he says he's got 50 statute acres. So he's got quite a bit of land by now. Uh, that's it. So, I mean, that's kind of interesting. But the other thing that they have is they have these, which are always interesting too. This is the list of everybody in all the head of the households. So we just go down the line. We see these are names that I recognize: Collins, McHugh, Kennedy, John McCormick, Patrick. That one I don't know. Hinch, I know. Garhey, Mullins, Ellis, and Grew. So they tell me a little bit about those people. So that's everybody in the townland, I think. Yep, it's everybody in the townland. So now I know who all the neighbors are. And then the last one is this one. And they didn't fill it out. Houses and buildings. That's rude. Okay. Because they're supposed to give you a description of what's what. Let's see what happens. Postal number. They just didn't bother to do it. So, oh, statistically, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on there. So that's kind of it. So has anybody got some people that we could search for your families? Maybe a family name and a place or anything? Come on, don't be shy.
How about Donahue?
We could do that, but we don't know where should we be looking? I'm
Well,
gonna
Mead,
Meat. Okay, so we're going to do, I'm assuming, okay, Donna,
Ghue. UE.
Ghue.
Hue.
Yeah,
Do-
okay.
I would
Take out
say,
John, and we're going to say Meath. And the idea is I am not clicking the exact matches only. All right. So it's going to
okay.
give me some spellings. And did we want to put a first name in?
Um,
Well, we don't really, in 1926, we don't know who's there. So let's just see we'll just do it this way. And nobody, they don't like us. Okay, let's
is there
see.
different spelling?
Well, they should, because I didn't check this, they should be, uh, let's do this, Donna Ho. Let's see.
Yeah.
But his dad's name was
Nope, not there.
Ned.
Okay.
Yeah, he'd be there then.
All right. So we're not seeing Donahue's in here. That's too bad. I can hear conversation with somebody in the background there. I don't know. So evidently it's not a common name. Something happened. I don't know.
If you do Conry, I have done it for
Oh yeah, that's right up north, right?
Mayo County.
Yeah, Connery. Let's just see who's up in Mayo.
He would have been older than he was probably
Okay.
born.
We get 125 results. So now let's make some modifications. And you notice I'm okay.
If you do an
Uh,
EY, Conrey, that'll
well,
show.
it's going to pick it up.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, because I'm not saying exact. Do we know a townland?
I don't. I did
Okay,
Mayo and came up with a bunch of people, and that was as far as I got. I didn't
okay. Well,
click
now
on any of that stuff you did. So
we can come down here, and it says the map. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens if we can search the map. Uh, Geographical
hmm.
within counties and the GEDs. So I want the map. Where is the map? Um, that's the explanation. I don't care about the explanation. I want to see it. Hmm. The Census 26 map. They just keep explaining it, but they don't give the map. Let's keep going, see if it shows up at the bottom. No.
Hmm.
Huh. Because we could get into an area if you know about where your family is. Hmm.
I know there were some in Westport.
Okay. To search. Oh, let's click on the map itself. That's too easy. Okay. All right. There's your map. So let's just go in. So what happens is, I'm not sure what we're looking at. Okay. So I think each one of these is an electoral district. Okay. So I'm trying to figure, I didn't use this earlier. So, um, oh, and here's an answer down here. They give a population breakdown. Um, look at the children under the age of 19. There's a total of just under 3 million people that they did in the 26 counties. And close to 600, at least 600,000 were under the age of 19. And then you notice it gets smaller and smaller and smaller as we
Yeah.
go through. I'm not
But
too
it's
sure.
interesting.
Oh, these are
14 of
males
the
and females.
110.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. The
110.
110, yeah.
Yeah,
So, and
some older ones.
I'm assuming this is male and this is female on this because
Uh,
that's how they've broken
age
it
and
down.
sex. Yeah.
And you notice look at how many more men there are than males than there are females. especially in this, the 20 to 29-year-old,
Hmm.
which surprises me a little bit. Um, yeah. Okay.
Can I
And
make a
then,
comment? Sorry, can I make a comment on the male, female?
sure, go ahead.
Female immigration was always higher in Ireland than male.
Yeah,
That might be a
that could
contributing
very well
factor.
be it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 93% Roman Catholic, 5% Church of Ireland, a little less than 1% Presbyterian, and 0.5% others. And again, remember, this does not include the 6 counties of Northern Ireland, which would skew the numbers a little bit. There's more Presbyterians and more Church of Ireland up there than as a percentage of population. And so here we have, so these are the uh, 26 counties, 2,771 electoral districts. These tells you there's industrial schools and reformatory schools there and there. This one's in Westport. What else do they tell us? The Magdalen laundries, which are a very sad story. I think we're going to find those primarily down here in Dublin. Let's see if I can find it. There's Kildare, Ballymore, Naas. Yeah, see all these little circles?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Uh, Women who, for various reasons, could be that they were considered to be promiscuous, or they had a child out of wedlock, or something just went wrong, they were kind of sentenced to these Magdalen laundries, which were run by orders of nuns. And they literally did laundry. It was a commercial thing. And it was just a miserable life. And there was no way out. I mean, unless something happened, they were there for the rest of their lives. There's some very, very sad stories as you go through that. And then we have prisons and mental assignments. So that's kind of interesting. So let's see. We were back over here in Mayo. Where is Mayo? That's too far up. Let's see. This is Galway. I should make this smaller and then I can figure it out. Yeah. So here's Mayo. So what you can do, if you kind of know where your family's from, you can click on that and we can see what we'll find. So let's look and see if we've got Newport. You said there was some. Okay. So I'm doing this, and then I think I can search. I suppose I should have read the instructions. I didn't want to read the instructions. View list. Okay. So let's see what happens. What do they tell us? Your search results are shown on the map. So, so I did Conry, search the 26. Okay, and now I can view map from here. And they tell me I have here's my townland, and there's 11 of them there. Okay, does that ring bells at all for you?
I haven't checked in to see yet who was
Okay.
still back there.
Okay, but does the town place, does that townland ring?
Tour class, I don't know. It doesn't.
Well,
I just
yeah,
know that it was Mayo, and that's a lot of
Mhm.
times that's all it says on it is that
Yeah. And our families could have moved, from one farm to another.
Sure.
So, and so they're telling me that my Belmute, and so forth and so on, and I can choose the county. And now, this is what's interesting is I said, oh, they'll do Conry is all I had was 11 families, okay? But if I do Conry without the E, I get
Right,
125,
right.
which is kind of interesting. So yeah, we'd almost have to worry about that a little bit. Okay. Um, Robin, I know you've got family back there that we could look for on the Kilmartins, right?
Yeah. The family that remained in Galway were the Mitchells. So,
Okay, let's.
and they
Oh, it's a
were
Mitchell? Okay.
Mitchell, Mitchell.
Okay. We'll do Mitchell. We'll do them in
In,
Galway.
yeah.
And we'll just see what happens here. Okay. Oh, 651 of them. So we probably want to break this down a little bit. Um,
I'm trying to think of a townland.
well, here they give me a list of the townlands. Kilbear, Derryglasson, Knockcrow, Kilcooney, Grove Hill,
I should
Coolara,
know this. I should know this.
Coolpowra, Tira and Scrag, Lobon, Ballymoney, Old Main Street,
Oh,
Killane.
Killane. Try that one.
Okay,
Try try that.
okay. I have Michael Mitchell, wife is Rose, and the
Mm,
children.
no,
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 doesn't look right.
those names aren't good. Those
Okay,
names aren't
let's keep.
good. I'm Kilbeg. It was the first one on the list.
Yeah, let me see what I've got here. I don't want this one. Oh, they aren't going to let me. I'm going to
Go
have to go
back.
back to search.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. Just a second. Let me do this. But I'm Townland. Kilbeg, you think maybe?
yeah. Try that one.
Patrick Mitchell? Patrick Mitchell and Mary down here.
I, okay. There's usually a John Mitchell. Do you want to just go back and put John in?
Okay, we can do that. Back to search.
Yeah. There's always a John.
There's always a John. Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah, there's 66 Johns.
Oh, there we go. It's Killian. It's down further.
Okay.
Tonacora.
Yeah,
John Mitchell. Yeah, that one.
this one here.
Uh, yeah.
The
Yes,
six.
that was 68. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, that's
that's it.
them.
And now we come over
Mhm.
here. Let's see what we got. This is kind of fun. Oh, he's living by himself. He's single.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and it says he's a sailor.
Mary?
Does that ring bells?
Oh, Taylor.
A
I
Taylor.
think
I'll
that's
go for Taylor. Okay.
a Taylor. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Okay. Tonacora is
Yep.
definitely where they were. There might be
Mhm.
another household.
And he was born there, so we know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And he is single.
Oh my
Uh,
goodness. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Young men on ropes have just gone past my windows.
Just
Sorry.
wave at him again. Let's see who else we got
Um,
that might be.
yes.
Here's a John that, oh, no.
Try the other
Uh,
Tonacora. He was a 68. The other one was 14.
yeah.
Yeah, try the 14-year-old because definitely Tonacora is where they lived.
Where did I lose Kanakura? Tanakura. Okay, let's see
Yeah.
what happens
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's see who he's living with. He is living with, come on,
There you go.
Mary. And it looks like
Yes, that's
let's,
them.
okay.
That is
No,
them.
is that Larry? What's his name?
Well, it might be hmm,
His wife is Mary,
Michael Mitchell. That will
Thomas,
be,
Kate, John, and Nora.
yep, no, that's them. That is definitely them. That Larry might be Lawrence.
Okay, I agree. I
Mm.
think that sounds right. Lawrence and Mary. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yes, in that family, there's lots of Lawrences.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's it.
Yeah. So that'll be them.
And Mary, let's go over and learn a little bit about Mary. Now this one they did fill it out 64 in so many months, 54 in 10 minutes. And then let's go over and see how many children she's had. That can't be right. Oh, there it is. They've been married 26 years. I'm like, they
Yeah.
can't have 26 years, and she's had 7 children. And then it says this state for each married man, women, and man, widow, and widower, the number of living sons and daughters under the age of 18. Oh, okay. Whether they're here or not. So that's okay. So that's what's going on. That's what that number is. And we have, technically, we have 3, but that's it. Okay. So now we found your family, a family in
A
there.
family, yeah.
Yeah. Anybody
Yeah.
else? Anybody else have one that we could go look for? Okay.
Well, my wife has family. She's a purebred Irisher.
Yeah.
So Ned McDonald.
And Ned may be Edward. We'll do
Yeah,
Ned
right,
and we'll see
right.
what
Yeah.
happens. And do you know where they lived?
County Kilkenny.
Kilkenny. Okay. Kilkenny. Let's just see what happens.
So
Didn't
the
like
farm
that.
was in Castle Warren. Now, I don't know what the townland is, but
Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do Edward Kilkenny. Okay. Now I get 7. But who knows? What was his, do you know what Ned's wife's name was? I'm
she
putting,
doesn't. Okay.
okay. So here we have,
We know some children's names, but
okay, so we could do this. The key is we're looking for somebody in 1926. Were the children living with them in 1926?
no, I don't think they're that old. No, no.
Okay.
That we know.
See, his mom was Bridget.
Bridget was his mother, she says.
She would have been in Castle Warren too.
So let's look up Castle Warren. We're going to do a little bit of this.
There's a little bit of the Warren Castle still in the field there.
Kilkenny. That's right. Let's just see what they have. Small village, I want to say that is a townland. It's in the electoral district of Tiscoffin. So let's do Tiscoffin. We'll try that, see what happens. We're going to make some, we are going to see what happens. Let's go back and start over again and just do McDonald and Kilkenny and Kiss. Oh, now I can't remember. I think that's how they spelled it. Ah, sorry about that.
Or was it Tiscoffin? I don't
It was
remember.
Tiscoffin. You're right. Okay. And was there one or more than one F?
Don't remember. I put down 2 when I wrote it, but I don't remember.
2 Fs. Okay. View census. Let's see what happens. Nope, we're not finding them. So I'm not sure what
Okay.
happened. And it could be that they're not actually in that townland, that they're right next to it, and it just
Yeah.
kind of flows from one side to the other. So we can do it this way. We can just see what do we get for McDonald's.
A few of those.
Yeah. Oh, there's Edward and Bridget in
There you go.
Stonyford,
Yeah.
and the children Mary, Patrick, and Rosie.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we get a little, there's a Bridget here. Here it is. Castle
Yeah.
Warren, Bridget Cannon,
There you
and
go.
Tiscoffin. Why did that not show up?
That'd be my
Okay.
great
I'm
grandmother.
okay. Let's go looking to see what's going on here. Um, this is fun. Let's make this much bigger so we can read it. So here's Bridget. She is 60 years old, a widow, and she has sons, John and Martin, and Martin living with them. They were
Mhm.
both born in Castle Warren. They are Catholic. She is the farmer. He is, I have no idea what this is trying to say. Let's make it a little bit bigger.
Ned might have already left for Dublin. He
America.
was a policeman in Dublin.
Okay. Um, no idea what that's supposed to say.
No.
Something farmer.
Is that
Mm.
assisting?
Yeah, it could be, yes. And
Mhm.
assisting with others. Okay. Something others, farmer, and ditto for the other son. And then it says
Yeah.
she's working on her own account, and he is working for Bridget McDonald, farmer. And then
Okay.
there's 20 acres there. And then she says she doesn't have any children under the age of 18, which is to be expected.
Right.
And she does not fill out this how many children she had. Oh, that's for married women, and she's considered widowed, but that doesn't, to me, that's not good. I wish they had done something better about that. Okay, so here we are. They are there.
Mhm.
It's kind of interesting. So
Yeah,
let's go.
thank
Let's
you.
go see what kind of house they're living in.
Oh, we
Let's see
know.
if they feel.
We've been
Let's.
We've
there.
been there.
You've been there and done
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It didn't fall down on you. Here we
Yeah.
go.
No. No.
Here's Bridget. Come on, bring it up. Bridget. Date on which the form was done. Well, that's it. Number of schedules is given on Form A. 2 males, 1 female, 3. Okay. And there are 3 rooms that the family occupies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you'd have the main room, and then the boys had a room, and Bridget had a room. I'm assuming that's kind of how that's set
Mhm.
up.
Yep.
Or would the
So,
kitchen count as?
yeah.
Is it
And
kitchen?
then that's, let's see. Let's see this one.
It was small.
Oh, that's the one I just looked at. Let's see if they give a description of it. All right. No, they don't. Used to give a description of it and rate it
Uh-huh.
and so forth and so on, but they're not doing that.
Mhm.
So we don't get that. All right.
Mm.
Okay. So we got the McDonald's in Castle Warren.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That's fun. Anybody else got one? Nope. Okay. I like the fact that they helped you find so if I did McDonald and Kenny, let's just do it this way and then do the map. I'm using use. And it gives me, where's the list? It doesn't, that's not from here. It tells me that Kilkenny had 71,000 people living there at that point,
Hmm.
which is interesting. Try about this. Let's go back. Okay. So we've done that one, but let's pick on your family. Let's get out of here a little bit. I don't know how far back I can go. This does not clear, obviously. My God, the Mitchells are still here. I should just start over again, but can't remember the website. There we go. That was the website. Um, you notice we could do previous ones, so let's go look at your McDonald's and see what we can find them.
Okay.
So we're going to say census year, we'll say all years. We're going to say McDonald. We're going to say Bridget because we know Bridget's going to be in there.
Mhm.
We're going to say Kilkenny. And then we're going to look for Castle Warren. Okay. Search. Okay. All right. Look at all the Bridgets. We have to
Mhm.
pick one. We have to pick this one or this one. I'm
She
gonna
was
guess.
60. Yeah.
I'm gonna do the 50 just to see what happens. We'll see who's in her family with them. And James, Bridget, Don, Margaret, Bridget, Patrick, Edward, and Martin. There they are.
That's
Edward.
probably it.
That's it.
And that was what
Because
year? 11?
this is
Four.
1911.
11.
See, that was the year Grandpa left to come over.
Okay.
He was Thomas.
He was Thomas. Okay. But
Mhm.
here's your Ned that you were talking about,
Mhm,
Edward.
mhm,
Yep.
And there's John. Those are the two that were still, and Mark, John, and
mhm,
the oldest and the youngest were still living with her
mhm,
15 years later.
mhm.
So we've got father and the wife, and then they don't bother to say their children, but doing that. Now, this is set up a little bit different. They are Roman Catholic. They can read and write. Here's their ages as we go through there. Farmers there, and the two youngest ones are scholars. Um, they have been married 28 years, and she has 7 children. So let's read this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. One of them is no longer in the household. I'm
That'd
assuming
be
maybe it's a
John.
daughter that got married. Okay.
Well, I think it was Jane's grandfather, Thomas, who came
Oh,
over
that's
to the
right. You said
U.S.
Thomas had gone. Okay. And then where were you born? And this one, they just say Kilkenny. They don't say anything else. And then it asks, can you read Irish or English or just English or whatever? So
Oh.
there you are in 1911.
Mhm.
And the fun thing is, let's do this form. It might be 1901 we want to do. That's the instructions. I don't really care about that. Okay. So let's go back and do um 19 uh 1901.
Yeah.
Okay. There's Bridget. She's not particularly consistent. She is now 64.
What? Maybe that's a different one.
No, I'm pretty sure this
No?
is her.
Okay.
Yep, there's James, Bridget, John, Margaret, Bridget, Thomas,
There's
Patrick,
the
Edward,
grandpa.
and Martin. There they are. So
Mhm.
she isn't aging. In 10 years, she was still the same age. So did you know that your family farm has the fountain of youth in it? It's that kind of
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
That's it.
Can we book
Uh,
tours for there now?
yeah, I'm sure we could do that. So married, not married, born in Kilkenny, uh, just your age. You don't get quite as much information off of this, but you do get, well, they just have the Form A. Here's the enumerators. House and building return. Let's see what happens. Let's see what's going on here. Da, 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 da. There's a James, this is James McDonald, right? Yeah. So here's a little bit more information about that family. Um, James. Oh, we cannot. And yeah, you got to make this much bigger because otherwise you can't figure out what it's saying. It is a private building. James is the fourth one down. So if the walls are made of brick, put a 1. If they are mud, wood, or perishable, you put a 0. So he's got a stone building. If the roof is made of slate, and tiles, put a 1. If it is thatched, wood or other ones, put a 0. So he had a thatched roof. Then a 2, if I remember correctly, it was 2, 3, or 4 rooms. And then the number of windows. So he had 2 windows. Ooh, John Coogan had 6 windows. That man had some money. Okay.
And the pot,
But
never mind.
he had 2. And then it says, what else? Total the figures. Okay. And that makes it a third class house, is what it is. Okay.
Okay.
And then it says the number of families that were living there is 1. And then it should ask about rooms. Number of rooms was, well, it says 2 at this point, and there were 9 people there. So, and there's James. So that's what's going on there. So we know a little bit about the house. It was made out of stone, had probably a thatched roof. It could be a different kind. And it had 2 windows. So that's pretty good. The other is the outbuildings. Those are always interesting. Let's see if we get an, oh, she's the 4th one down. So now this isn't the best, but he's the 4th one down. So he had a stable, he had a cow house, a calf house, a piggery, a chicken house, a fowl house, and a barn. And it appears that's about the extent of what that. So he had 6 outbuildings.
Okay.
So,
Huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Interesting.
It is. It gives you a little bit of a insight into what the family's like.
Yeah,
Through there.
great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it is. Now, there are fragments of, let's get down here. I can look at pre-1901 census data. Okay. And then it says 51, 41, 31, and 21. They're just fragments, in all honesty. The 41 and 51 are basically, most of them are from people applying for an old age pension in the early 1900s. And if they didn't have any proof of their merit of their birth, they asked the pension office to go check the 41 and 51 census records. And they gave them some information to see what they could find. And those records were kept separate. So the actual census records were destroyed in 1922 when we had the fire.
Right.
And so, but we do have those applications. So, and I don't know if they tell us anything about it. And you can browse by place. So let's see what we get here. Let's do 1851. And let's do, I'm going to do Tipperary because I did find one that I thought was kind of interesting. Uh, Cl- Clanwilliam, and that doesn't do me any good. So let's go back to 1841. Well, that's interesting. I thought I found one. Well, it could be that she wasn't living in Tipperary at the time. So that's some of these are filed as to where they lived at the moment. So let's do this. 1841. Antrim. Well, we can just pick somebody out. Um we could do McCormick. I spelled it right. Search. Okay. There's 178, which is quite a bit. So now I can come over and say I just want to do. They just have Antrim and Downing. That doesn't help me any.
Hey, Teresa.
Yeah.
On the search, it has surname, first name, age, county, town, land, or street, And then the last category is DED.
That's the electoral district.
Okay.
It's a subdivision uh, of the thing. And if you want it, if you know where your family's from, I think this works. If you go to a website called townlands, plural, .ie, and then pick a county. So I'm going to try mine because I know it's there. And then you get the baronies in the county. It gives you the civil parishes. And then, as we all know, my family's Gort Lassa Bryan, so we'll just find that one. Um, these are supposed to be townlands, isn't it? Those are electoral. This is the electoral division, but if you don't know what your electoral district is, darn, there's a lot of townlands.
I know what church they went to.
Okay, just a second here. Let me try this and see if this works, and then I'll Gort, Teen, Gortavala, Gordrum, Gortina, Gortine, Gortmore, Gort Lassa Bryan. There we go. And then if I do that, it should tell me it's in the electoral division of Ballina. So let's try yours. So what county are we looking for?
Cork County.
Gonna go to Cork. Okay. And then what church did they go to?
St. Finbar South.
Okay, so let's do that. We're gonna Google.
When I was in Ireland in September, I met with the
That's right. Okay,
genealogist.
and that's literally in the city of Cork, right?
Right.
Okay. So, yeah, I was going to have you talk about that. Maybe when we get finished here, we'll do that. So I think that is considered the civil parish. So we would just say Cork. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. So is it 1926? What year do we want to look for? 1901, 19...
Well, in the dad died in 1925.
Okay, so they should show up in the 21. So it says here. Okay, what's the last name?
O'Callahan.
Am I writing? Is that right?
It's I can't see because that's on my phone, but it's Calla.
Ghan. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. And a first name for dad?
Patrick.
Patrick. Okay. And we're going to do Cork. Okay. And
He died in 1925, you said?
25.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
He
he's not
won't
going to
be
be
in the
there.
26.
Do we have a wife by
The
any chance?
wife. Yeah. Well, Honora.
Honora. Would she still be alive in 26?
I do not know.
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to do this. I only get 8. So here, yep, here's South Ward. Here's Honora is 80. Let's try this 86-year-old on Barrack Street. Let's see who's in the household, see if this rings any bells at all. Come on. Okay. Oh, this says John is the head of household.
Okay.
Oh,
So
no, this is her mother-in-law. It says, really? It says John O'Callahan is the head, Nellie is his wife, and Honora is their mother-in-law. that implies that a Nellie O'Callahan, maiden name O'Callahan, married a John O'Callahan. That is kind of scary. Okay. I don't know if that rings bells or not.
Mm-mm.
And they lived in, and he was a motor driver. And and the mother-in-law is married. So that doesn't work. She's not a widow. So that's probably not your Honora. Now, we could be she we looked at that one. And this is over in Bantry, so we don't think. Now the problem is we could be looking for somebody by the name of Nora. Or do you have any other children that stayed with him? Okay, here's how many do I end up? I've got 89 of these. Do I have Cork in here? Oh, Cork. Townlander Street. Cork Northwest, Cork South. That's what we want. Okay. Here's a Nora, 52. On Eastview. So we may not find her. And we may be looking for somebody, like you said, you're not sure she's still alive. So that's it.
Right.
Yeah, she is married to a Daniel. So we're not finding her. Did anybody else stick around besides the husband and wife? The mother and father, I mean?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
I know
let's
yeah,
go
there's
ahead.
3 of them that came across
Okay.
together.
Well, then maybe we should be looking in the 1901 census, and that will give us a little bit of a break. I wish to do this. We'll do 1911. And what was the father's name?
Patrick.
Patrick. And then we're going to say Cork. And we're going to say, oh, there's 73 of those. Let's start over again. Do you have a child
Um,
that might have been there either in '01 or 11?
yes, Ellen, Mary.
Ellen Mary?
Hmm.
Okay, so we'll check. Where's Ellen? And do you know about how old she might have been in 19, what am I doing here? 1911. Do you know when she was born?
She was born in 1867.
Okay, so that's 33 and
44.
11. That'd make her 44. Was she still in Ireland at that age, at that time in 1911?
No,
Okay, how about 1901? No.
no, she emigrated in 1891.
Doggone it.
Um,
Did her brothers immigrate that early too?
there's 3 siblings and they all came across at the same
Okay,
time.
so we're not going to find him in a census record. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We are going to come over here and we're going to do irishgenealogy.ie. This is the one that we are going to search for civil records. We are going to do Cork. We're going to do Patrick O'Callahan. We are going to do a range. He died in 19, what did you think?
25.
Okay, we're going to do 24 to 1926. You never know. And we're going to say a death. And then I'm going to say my name because I do there. Search. Please. Oh, and I forgot to tick it. There we go. Okay. I said Cork. Did I not say Cork? Location. Let's do Cork. Cork County. Search. Okay. Mallow. Here's one Cork. That's 74. I'm just looking somebody that might be about the right age. And you said 25, right?
Yes.
Would he, okay, we've got a couple one options. Here's a 64-year-old. Let's see what we get. And we were going to look here. Patrick O'Callahan. He did not. No, his son Charles was president at death, so that's probably not him. So that was the 64-year-old. Let's go looking at this. Oh, we got several. Here's one that's 74. I don't think this is him either. Patrick O'Callahan. Where's Patrick? Here he is. Knocked up Michael Callahan, president birth. Well, he's married, he's a farmer. I don't know.
Hmm.
And then we have one more here. That's Can Kirk. I get quite a few of them. Let's see what this is. Because I was trying to find it, 'cause sometimes they gave the actual address. Okay. Patrick O'Callahan, widower, blacksmith. Ellen O'Callahan, daughter of the deceased, present at death. In Bally. It's a little hard to read. So we should be able, we just need to spend a little more time with that. We could look for the birth records of the children, which would be interesting to find. That's a thought. So let's find Ellen. We're going to do, let's go back. Okay. We're going to do Ellen. Let's see if I would like to clean it out because sometimes that's an issue. Oh. Ellen O'Callahan. She was born in 1867.
7.
We're going to say 66 to 18, not that our
You have it.
Our
You have an
answer.
M there instead of an N.
Okay. Okay, just a second here.
Did you see it? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, Ellen. Let's see if we can make this work. Okay. Cork. We have one cork. Let's see what happens if I do this. Nope, that's Timothy. It certainly doesn't look like an O'Callahan. Let's see what happens. Ellen Mary. Father is, you can almost read this.
That Anthony?
Anthony? Yeah. And mother is Frances, formerly Fitzgerald. Okay. Timothy, that's Timothy. Timothy O'Callahan and the mother's
Timothy.
Frances. So that's not yours.
No.
So let's look again. Let's see what else we get. Middleton, Cankert, Tralee. I have 10 in Cork. Let's do this. Uh, it would be nice if I could. Let's do this one. I mean, this may be one I already looked at. You notice they're showing up as Callahan's rather than O'Callahan, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
I have her baptism certificate and it says Ellen Callahan.
Yeah. The O became part of a Gaelic revival. So families that the O was dropped off for, they became more Irish, so they put the O back on. So here's Ellen, that's John and Hannah O'Callahan or Callahan. So that's not yours. Then here's another one. And I'm assuming that she'd lived in the city of Cork. Ellen, that's Daniel. I have another way of doing this, but
The baptism record that I have is from this website.
okay. Well, you didn't get, that's right. They do have them. Let me see what happens. Bridget. I was trying to find, here we are.
There
Here
it
it is.
is
Now
on the
this is
bottom.
this is the government record of her birth as opposed to a baptismal record.
Okay.
Okay. And so what we have here is she was born the 2nd of February, 1867 at on this address is 153. Yes. Yes.
Something road.
Oh, here it is again, 153 something road. And it's Patrick Callahan, and the mother is Nora Callahan, formerly Cronin.
Yep.
And here we again. Father is the report. It would be nice if the handwriting,
Huh.
it's an N or an M. I have no idea. So I don't know if the baptismal record will show you that as well. It might, because they do have the reason they have very few. They just have County Cork. I'm going to look at a church record. Ellen, 1867. Let's see how. Cork. We're looking for a baptismal search. Let's look and see what they say.
Cork and Ross.
I think it's
South
this very
Perry.
first one. Nope.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah, Patrick and
the one I
Nora.
have.
And there's that's the one you have. And here we go. Okay. And nope, they don't give addresses. So, because otherwise you could kind of wander over and find it.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay. So we could look for the other two children if they were born 1864 or later. Was Ellen one of the older ones?
I think she was one of the younger ones.
Okay, because there might still be one on here. The birth records the government didn't record birth records until 1864. So, but if she's typical Irish, if she was born in 67, there was probably a child born in 65, within a couple of years. So let's see what I can find. I'm going into a page site that I have. And, I don't know if they'll have Cork. Well, they might. Search. Let's see what we can find. Okay. We'll start with this one. We will do O'Callahan. Ellen. In 1866. Okay, search. And I want to look at the baptismal records. I want it to be Cork. Let's see if that works. Okay, it does. So let's go back and do O'Callahan. And the father's first name was Patrick,
Mm-hmm.
and mother's name was Cronin. Let's see if we can make this work. Oh, I don't want 67. We have Bridget, Dennis, Patrick, Timothy, Catherine, Michael, and Daniel. So that's interesting, but no Ellen. Why would we have it that way? Honora Crone. It says Bridget. That can't be. Because this Bridget was was baptized in April of 67, and your Nora was done at that point. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Don't tell me there's two of them. There's Mary Cronin. Hmm. Here's Timothy. So I think we have more than one Patrick Callahan marrying a Honora Cronin. Why would that happen to
Yeah,
us?
why? Why?
That's really tacky. Okay, so let's just say O'Callahan. We'll just say Nora. Let's see what happens here. Nora with an H. That's interesting that we could find it. I think I know why. Because I don't think they have the church records on Roots Ireland, but they may. I don't know. This is a case of we spend a little more time, we could find it. But at least you know we have an address, we just don't know what the street is. It's 153 something street. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be interesting to know. Uh,
It has to be close to their church, doesn't it?
um, Relatively close. If they're in the city limits, which they are, it would be relatively close. So there are a couple other things that would show up. A city directory
Yeah.
might be a thought about that. I'm going to make a note. Maybe I can find that. And I need a writing utensil, which there it is. So I'm looking for Patrick and Nora Callahan. And we're going to look for a city director. I'll do that and I'll let you know if I find anything. Okay.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. Okay. So let's close that one out. And we'll close this one out because I'm starting to get an awful lot of them open. And we'll take this one out. And we will come back to the website here. I don't want that one. I would like to search, let's clear form fields. There we go. Oh, that one's this one. I want the pre-1901. I just want to find an example of it. 1951. We'll put Ryan in here. And we'll say pick. Okay, Limerick will work. And what I want to see, no results. We're not doing well. I find that hard to believe that there was not a Ryan. There we go. Mary Ryan. Okay. Oh, this is an actual census record. Really? This is one of the ones they found in the county of Dublin. Oh, I know. Okay, I don't want Dublin. These are all Dublin. Dublin, somebody made an index of Dublins, so that's what they're getting for here. I was kind of looking for Ireland, old age pension application. Application 1851. Let's see what happens. Census search forms is what they're under. Okay. For some reason they aren't showing up here. Let's search over here. So let's do you can see what's going on here. And I'm pretty sure that was Tipperary. And now we're going to search. Yeah, there's Margaret. Okay. And here's the image. This is an extract from the census return of 1851. The full applicant was Mary McCormack, and they should write to her as Mrs. Margaret Gow or Gough, Gough, in Ballymalone, which is the townland, Tipperary. Killaloe is across the river in County Clare, and that's where the post office was. Name and father and mother was William and Mary McCormick, and Mary was a Renahan, so I know exactly who this family is. Okay. And that in 1851 they lived in Tipperary, barony of Onion Era, parish of Temple and the townland of Gortles O'Brien. Okay. And then it says they searched it on, I think that's supposed to be January 16th of 1917. They found it in the treasury. There was an extract made and it was certified and it was form replaced by, so they make sure that they put the pension form back in, and a copy was dispatched to her address. And so, and then there's all sorts of stamps in there, and there's her application. And it, they don't fill in everything, but there she is. So that's the kind of thing you get. Now, hers was successful. Doesn't necessarily mean that she was, how should I say this? Doesn't mean that she was alive in 1851. So I guess that's what they're going to say. So this is 50 years later, maybe 60 years later. So she might be old enough to get a pension, maybe not. So I'm not sure what's going on. We could have to look with that. So there's some, so this is kind of a interesting thing. And here's another McCormack. Let's see who this is. Image. Oh, these were sent search. This was a list of the search forms. Interesting. Oh, and that's hers because it's the parents are McCormick and Renahan. And what does the X mean? Not found. So there's a lot of people that they didn't find him. Not that I would say that our ancestors might have been gaming the system, but some of them weren't really sure how old they were, and some of them thought, I'll take a chance and see if they'll give me a pension, even though I might not be quite old enough. And the bureaucrats were very good about not doing that. So who else has got one we can look for and see if they did anything? Anybody? It's a quiet day.
Try the Moors, Moore.
And do we have a county by any chance?
I do not.
Okay, well, let's just do a more and see what happens. We get 181 of them. Okay. We get them in Cork and Donegal.
Well, do we have time to go through all 181?
No, we do not. I think they're going to shoot us, but yeah. But I mean, they've got counties, they've got Londonderry, Louth. I mean, if you have a feeling for where they may have come from,
Okay,
uh,
I need to go back and
mhm.
look on, see what,
Yeah, what you
I
know
know they
about it.
all
So,
ended up in Greene County, or Greene County, Pennsylvania, and then
uh,
migrated
and
west
moved
from
on.
there. But
Yeah, yeah. Okay. But I mean, they do. I mean, these, I'm going to stop sharing now. We'll just stop sharing. See how many you get. So, I mean, they've got some interesting things in there that you can
Yeah.
find. And that one's free. It is, for some reason, it should show up on those other, you know, census forms. But if you just Google Ireland old age pension application, National Archives. I mean, that's kind of a long search. That's what you'll take you right to there where you can do your search form and see what happens. So the old age pensions were instituted starting in about 1907, I think. But I mean, people continually, as they aged out, continued to apply, and most of them had to have some sort of proof of birth. And they're old enough that they were born before that 1864 time when the government started to get involved uh, in the recording of births. So, it was either the census record or a church record. And yeah, and I guess they check the church records. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So that's it. Okay. Well, it's 8:30 already. We've had a good time. Does anybody have any questions? Or find something lately? Anybody find something lately in Ireland? Not even in Ireland, just anywhere.
well, I have a John Moore from Dublin,
Mm-hmm.
but
Okay.
he was
So we,
born in 1793 and he died in 1816, but that was in Greene County,
yeah.
Pennsylvania. So I don't
And
know.
these pensions were in the early 1900s, so
Yeah,
he's not going to
yeah,
be there.
I'm not.
But, somebody else could have been around, so forth.
And I think he was a Presbyterian minister. So that,
Oh, so you want to look in the Presbyterian records?
yeah.
They have some good records up in the Presbyterian Historical Society. That'd be interesting. Did he bring his whole congregation with him?
I don't know. It's uh
They
he's
did
in the
that.
Revolutionary War, Captain John Joseph Moore.
Hmm.
Doesn't say uh
Um,
doesn't say that
eh,
he did. I can't find.
okay. So,
Um
what I have been told is with Presbyterian congregations, the penal laws that they instituted in 1708 and continued up until about 1780 or 90 affected the Presbyterians as well as the Catholics. And so a lot of Presbyterians just said, And sometimes a whole congregation, not a whole congregation, but a large number of a specific congregation left Ireland. Their minister came with them and they settled in Pennsylvania,
right.
right? So the key is to read the local history in Pennsylvania for where your family was and see if there's a mass migration that's mentioned. That would be interesting to know. Those county histories from the 1880s and 90s are really good. I don't know if you've ever read one of them, but
I haven't, and I know that the Greene County has a big historical thing. So
hmm hmm
um,
those are online for the most part. I go into a website called Hati, Hathi Trust. And what they've done is they have scanned, they've gone to libraries and scanned, especially county histories. So once you get into their website, you do Greene County, Pennsylvania history, and they will have scanned probably that. And then you can search within it. That would be interesting to see if they mention your Moore family. So
hmm.
that would be interesting to see and go from there. So
I know the Makahi, my other side, or McCoy is I
mhm,
guess how they pronounce it in Ireland. They moved from Scotland to Ireland,
mhm,
whole town apparently, with
mhm,
the church and everything, and then moved back depending on where Cromwell was, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
When he went north into Scotland, they went to Ireland. When he went into Ireland, they went back home to Scotland. Uh,
And then he died. So
and then he died. Yeah,
and
all for naught.
and Charles II came in. So
That's right. Back to square one.
back to square one. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting story to hear what's going on there.
Well, and they when they got to the States, there was two brothers,
Mhm.
and their children married each other. So I don't, that really screws up genealogy. You got first cousins marrying first
Yeah.
cousins.
Yeah.
So are they aunts and uncles, or are they brothers and sisters?
Yes. And
Yeah.
the answer is yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. If you only do
Messes
that
up
once, it's okay.
Ancestry.com, because Ancestry.com has a hard time trying to decide
They do
the
well with
same
that.
parent for different children and
Mhm.
it's,
Mm-mm.
yeah, I get duplicates and
They
it's,
don't like that.
no.
You can do that once and you're okay. If you
Yeah.
continue to do that, then you have issues.
Right. And they reach out of the screen and slap your hand.
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking about in terms of genetics. That's
Yeah.
not you can do it once, just
Yeah.
once. You
Just
can have a
once.
first cousins marry, but boy, if it keeps going, then you start looking like the Spanish Habsburgs, which
Well,
was
they
not
got
good.
web feet and toes and
And well, in this case, I mean, you had like 5 generations where they married close. You had uncles marrying nieces, you had first cousins marrying all the way down. And the last Spanish, his jaw was so deformed that he couldn't swallow. And
oh,
he was just it
well,
was and he was not the brightest bulb.
well, he would need a relative to get married that way, I guess.
No, no, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was I hope that was entertaining to you, or at least
Yeah.
you found a few things in there. You never know what you're gonna find. So, um, I'm trying to think of what else we can talk about next time. What,
Was Angie gonna talk about her trip?
oh, Angie. Oh, she leave us? She
No,
left us.
I'm
Oh,
here.
there you are. Tell me about your trip. You had a good time.
I had an amazing time. I had made an appointment with a genealogist in Cove
Mm-hmm.
and at the Heritage Center.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was nice because he was able to confirm research that I had done
Mm-hmm.
and gave me the name and address of the church where my grandmother's grandmother was baptized. And so we went up into Cork and went to the church.
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing, surreal, just walking around in this church that was built in 1755.
Wow.
And they still have service there.
Mm-hmm. It's
And
perfectly good building. Why would you not?
it was amazing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just going down to Cove and seeing standing where my ancestors would have stood before
Mm-hmm.
they got on the ship,
Ship.
to come across. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was amazing. And I had met somebody on Facebook. I just took a chance, and because he had the same name as a relative, and we had been in touch and done research back and forth. And my husband and I met up with him and his wife, and he lives up in Tralee,
Okay.
and it was just so cool.
What town were you say you saw where they sailed? Did you say Cork?
Cobe. Cobh.
Yeah,
COBH?
It
yeah,
was Queenstown when our families were leaving, but then once they became independent, they didn't want to be Queenstown, so they call it Cobe now. Cobh, which is very close to Cork, is it not?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's real close.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. The city of Cork. That's it.
right.
So when you were in the church, did you happen to talk to anybody from the office, or you just kind of wandered around?
No, there wasn't
Okay.
anybody there at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a great trip. It was
Yeah.
beautiful, and kind of avoided touristy areas and went off the beaten path, and
Uh-huh.
that was fun.
Stacy asked, is it better to put the comma in with the O'Callahan or not? It all depends on who's written the software. So you can try it with and without. In these cases, um, they they look for alternate spellings and they drop the O off and it just becomes Callahan. So I don't know if the apostrophe makes a difference or not. But I would, if you're not getting the results that you're looking for, where if it's O'Connor or Connor, try it both ways and just see if it makes a difference. You'll see as you go through there. Okay. Robin, is there any progress made on your storybook that you're writing?
We are heavily into the politics of Ireland and England in the 1850s through to the land wars at the moment. Natalie's been going down very big rabbit holes that might result in something, might not. I have now contacted all of the people who are Kilmartin descendants
Good.
through ancestry DNA.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know everybody else's who's done this. You don't get 100% response on any of this. If you're lucky, if you get 10% or something like that. I think, I mean, you will show up as a distant relative. But I think that sometimes people get a bit excited about DNA and they do the test and then they don't, the annual subscription comes around again and they don't do it. So,
Well, but they don't have to. I mean, their DNA stays there whether you pay for the subscription
yeah,
or
but you
not.
can't message them. Or
Okay, yeah,
sometimes I think they don't get the messages
yeah.
and, but it's a slow process, and and but we have decided what the American story will be.
Okay.
We didn't find our movie star or our
No,
president or we just found good people. You really, when you're writing something for commercial publication, it helps if there's, a sneaky movie star or an axe murderer or somebody.
some sort of a hook. That's it. I was in your territory not too long ago. We were coming back. We took a little detour for the White Pole Road, which goes through Guthrie County,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
which
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
our first road. How should I say this? This was a road that went across Iowa, not necessarily paved, and they didn't have numbers. So what they did is on the telephone poles, they painted about a 5 foot long swath of white, and you just followed that so that
Ah,
you could
right.
see the next
Okay.
tele, and you knew you were still on the road,
Yeah,
so the
you're
right
still on the
road.
road.
And it went
I
through there,
have
but
I have to say I've been thinking about Iowa quite a lot of late, and Davenport and Des Moines. We had such a wonderful time when we were there. I mean, it was busy because we were working,
mhm,
but people could not have been nicer to us. And
mhm.
both Natalie and I have very, very happy memories, and we wished that we don't live so far away and the cost is not so great to actually get to Iowa from Australia, because we
Mhm.
would love to have spent more time
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
if you
It
come
was really
back,
good.
we'll take you in. You look like you've got an owie. You're holding a.
This is, I managed to dislocate my left shoulder. I fell over
Oh,
and my sister tells me it's taking a long time to come good. My sister says that's because I'm old. And I think there might be something in that.
how rude.
That's what I thought. I
We don't
thought
bounce
that's
back
rude.
like we used to.
Oh no, you don't. So
Okay.
so it's just been a bit sore this morning, so it's a bit of a heat pack on
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll let you all go. And let's see, I'm looking for a chat here. That's it. Yeah, Thera and I will send off that email to you.
Appreciate, thank
And
you.
we'll see what happens on that one, but I should be all right. Chaplain 132. Yeah, yeah, that's what I've got. So we'll see if it gets through this time. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I will look for it and not delete it. That's probably what
I'm gonna
happened.
do it right now, so
Okay.
it should show up right away.
All right,
Okay,
thank you.
guys, y'all go and enjoy yourself, and we will see you in May. Oh my, it's time for May,
May.
the merry month of May. All
Yeah.
right, take
Thanks,
care.
Tricia.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
We'll see y'all. Bye.
Bye.